Hello everyone. In this video session we will discuss problem number 5 related to projection of solids. The question is, a pentagonal prism 25 mm sides of base and 60 mm axis length rests on HP and one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. Draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degrees. Okay, so here, so the type of the solid is the prism. So what kind of prism it is? So in this case it is a pentagonal prism. So pentagon means it will be having 5 sides. What are the dimensions of the pentagonal prism that they have given? So they have given it as the base of the pentagon is 25 mm and height is how much? 60 mm. First and foremost thing, we have to consider the normal position. So what we have to do in the normal position is we have to place the lamina. First we need to identify in which plane it is resting and in what position it is resting. So we know that always we are going to take the solids in HP itself. Okay, it is in the question also he has given that 60 mm axis length rests on HP. Okay, so the resting plane is HP I have taken. How it is resting on HP? It is resting on one of its edges of the base. So resting position is the side that is edge of the base. So whatever the resting position is there, that we have to consider towards my right hand side in case of solids according to our procedure. Okay, according to our conventions what we have taken. So next is, so we have to see the pentagon in the top view as well as front view in this particular position. If I see the pentagon from the top view, if I see the prism from the top view, so it looks like a pentagon for me. So if I take the front view of that particular prism, it looks like a rectangle. Okay, so how many vertical edges you can see in the front view is, so I have written it as 3 lateral edges and the axis lines are visible. So this is the normal position. So let us go with the construction. Okay, so now I'll come to the construction here. So always we will consider the first angle of projection. So with respect to the XY line, I have taken VP above the XY line and HP below the XY line because we are considering the first angle of projection. So after doing that much, so what I have done is, so since it is a side resting problem, I need the side towards my right hand side. So I have left some space towards my left the space towards my left side and I have considered one point. So with respect to this point, what I have done is I have taken 90 degree line. So with the help of the protractor, so I place my protractor at that point along this XY line and I have marked one 90 degree point. So with respect to this 90 degree point, I have taken one thin projection line which is passing through this reference point what I have taken and the 90 degree point what I have marked. So this is the vertical line. So on this vertical line, what I'll do is I'll choose any one point. So I'll choose this point. So with respect to this point, so I need to take the size of the pentagon. So in the top view it looks like a pentagon. What is the size of the pentagon? So in the question he has given it as 25 mm. Okay, so 25 is given. So you measure 25 mm with the help of the compass. You measure the 25 mm. Okay, so after measuring 25 mm, you place your compass at that reference point, that chosen point. So and you cut the arc. So with respect to these two corners, what I'll do is, so I'll take the protractor and I'll mark the angle of the pentagon. Interior angle of the pentagon is 108 degrees. So that we know it already. So place your protractor along that vertical line at this particular point, the starting point. So and you measure 108 degrees. This will be 0 and you mark 108 degree point. So I have marked it here. So now you choose your move your protractor to the another corner. To move your protractor to the another corner. So with respect to this point, so with this point as 0 and you mark 108 degree point here. Okay, in this way I will get two 108 degree points. So with respect to these 2 points, what I will do is, so I will draw a thin line. So thin line that should pass through that 108 degree point and the corner of the pentagon. So next is, again with the help of the scale, you draw a line. So that line has to pass through this 108 degree point and the corner of the pentagon. So on these two 108 degree point, we need to obtain the another 2 corners of the pentagon. What will be the size? The size will remain same, the same 25. So already I have taken. So with the same size, you cut the arc. So you place your compass at another point and you cut one more arc here. So in this way I have got totally 4 corners of the pentagon. How to obtain the 5th corner? So you place your compass at this point, and you've cut one arc. So similarly with the same dimension, with the same distance, So place your compass at the another corner and you cut the arc. So where these two arcs will intersect, so that will be the fifth corner of the pentagon. So in this way I need to obtain all the 5 corners of the pentagon. So after obtaining all these 5 corners, you join all of them with the help of dark lines. So this is the first edge. So this is my second edge. I will take third one. So and this is the fourth edge. I am getting it here. And finally the fifth one. So all these edges has to be dark. When I see this particular prism from the top, so it looks like a pentagon. So this is what I'll get. So and since I'm taking the top view, so all the top corners will be visible. So hence I'll place the top corners outside the brackets. The bottom base corners I'll give the naming suffix 1. So those are not visible. Hence I'll place them inside the brackets. B of B1. So here I call it as C of C1. We have to do the namings in the cyclic order. Either you go in the anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. Okay. So here I say that A1 B1 is my resting side. So that is your resting side. Okay. Once after doing the naming, I'll go with the dimensioning. So what is the size of the pentagon? So that we need to mark. So size is 25. You take the extension lines. With respect to this extension lines, you draw one dimension line and write the dimension as 25 mm. Okay. And what is the angle? Angle is 108 degrees. So after doing this much, so after drawing all the 5 edges and doing the namings, I need to obtain the center point of this cross section. So we are having the pentagon here. So how to identify the center point of the cross section? We need to construct the bisectors. What is a bisector? A bisector is a line that is passing through a corner of the pentagon and it should intersect exactly the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay. So we know that. So the procedure is either you take half of this 25 or you take the distance, take the compass, you take the distance more than half and you cut the arc on either sides. So with the help of the another corner, so you cut the arc. So where these lines will join, so this is the arc that I'll get. So where we'll get this line, so that will also touch to the opposite corner. So in this way we have to draw the bisectors. So other way is, so we know that the size of this pentagon is 25 mm. So you take half of that 25. So I should take it as 12.5 mm. So I'll mark approximately here. So and I'll draw one line like this. So this is one bisector I'll construct. So this is the bisector that I got. Similarly, I'll consider this half of this side. So 12.5, I'll mark it here. And I'll draw one more line. This is the another bisector. You need to draw a minimum of 2 bisectors. Totally, you will get 5 bisectors because we're having 5 corners. So if I construct 2 bisectors, the intersection of these 2 bisectors will give you the center point of that cross section, that is pentagon. The point where the bisector will meet, so that is a point where you'll get the axis. So axis points, I should name it as O of O1. So this is your top view. So now I'll go with the front view. So before going to the front view, what we'll do is, so we'll erase all the extra lines what we are having. Okay, so now you take the projections. So you consider this edge. So with respect to this edge, you extend the projection line. Okay, you take the projections from each and every corner. So this is one more line that I'll get, that is O of O1, that is the axis point. If I take the projection from this C of C1, so that line also passes through this E of E1 and it will intersect your XY line. So finally we are having D of D1 here. So you take the projections from this D of D1, extend it until it touches your XY line. Okay. So in the front view, so he has given that, so we know that since it is a prism, the front view looks like a rectangle. So we know the width. So we have got the width of the rectangle here. So what will be the height of the prism? So height of this rectangle, that is a prism, is the axis length itself. How much it is? So he has given it as 60 mm. So 60 I have written. So I need to take 60 mm with respect to this point. So along this vertical line, I will mark 60 degree point. Here one point I will mark, and one more point I will take the another extreme line. So with respect to this point, I will mark one more point, and I will join them with the help of dark line. So this is one point. So this is the second edge of the rectangle. So now you have construct the top face of this prism, and this is the base. So base of the prism. Okay. So now after doing this much, so we need to consider these edges. So this C1 is the lateral edge, E1 is also the lateral edge. So since we are having the two edges here, so I should draw this line as thick continuous line, because we will not get any axis points there on this projection line. That should be drawn as thick continuous line. Coming to the next point, that is this third projection line, first, second and third projection line. So we need to consider this axis point. Okay, so whether I should draw this as axis line or continuous line, how to check that is, so if I extend this line below, this third projection line downwards, so I will not get any corner of the pentagon here. So since I am not getting any corner of the pentagon, so in the front view, so if I observe this particular prism from the front, so this point is clearly visible. If the prism is made up of glass, so this axis point is visible to you clearly, and that axis line I should draw it as thin chain line. So since I don't have any corner exactly below this point, I should draw this as axis line. If I get any corner exactly below this axis point, so that line will become your thick continuous line. That will become your visible line. So since I don't have any point here, so that remains as axis itself. So axis should be drawn with thin chain line like this. Okay, this is how we need to construct the front view. So what about the namings now? So I'll do the base corners first. So before that, let me do the dimensioning. The height of the prism, I should not forget this. Dimensioning are important. We have to do the dimensions. So this axis length is how much? 60. So now I'll do the namings. So slowly I'll take the points of only the base corner. Base corner, we know that, so we'll be having the suffix 1 to the base corner. So which are the base corners we are having here? A1 and B1. 2 points are there on the first projection line. So this line. So now among these 2 points, the point which is nearer to the X line, I need to place it inside the bracket. So I'll write this point as B1 dash of A1 dash. So that it will be your resting side. So here O1 dash, O1 is the point. So in the front view it becomes O1 dash. I am placing it inside the bracket because this point lies inside this pentagon. So next is C1 dash and E1 dash. 2 points are there. So E1 is nearer to the X line. So I'll write this as C1 dash of E1 dash. So finally I am having D1. So you write that D1 as it is. So you copy the same namings above without suffix 1. So that is how we need to do the namings. This is B dash of A dash. This point is O dash. So here I'll get it as C dash of E dash. So finally I'll get D dash. So which is the resting point here? So the resting side is B1 dash of A1 dash. So that should be there on the X line in all the 3 positions. So this completes the first position. The top view, it looks like a pentagon. So and in the front view it looks like a rectangle. So in the top view, so if I just observe this prism, so I should see only these 5 edges. So I should not draw these bisectors as dark lines. So only these 5 edges of the pentagon must be dark. Okay. So now I'll go to the second position. So what is the second position? So which condition I need to take? So second position is condition with respect to HP. Why I need to take the condition with respect to HP is because, so we have placed the solid on HP. So since we place the solid on HP, take the condition with respect to HP. What is given in the question? So the condition with respect to HP is the axis of the prism is inclined to HP at 40 degrees. Angle of inclination is how much? 40 degrees. What is making an angle of 40 degrees? So axis. Okay. So if I need to take the axis inclined at 40 degrees, so we have to consider this particular figure. So if I go to the second position, after tilting, whatever the rectangle that is there, the vertical standing rectangle, so that will get tilted to an angle of 40 degrees, because so this axis line and all these three lateral edges are parallel to each other. So if I tilt this lateral edge, the first lateral edge, automatically this axis will also get tilted to an angle of 40 degrees. So which will be there on the XY line? This resting point should be there on the XY line always. Okay. So I'll choose this as my reference point and I'll consider the reference point. So you should select that point very carefully so that you will be having the space at last in order to do the third position. So this point, I call this point as my resting side, that is B1 dash of A1 dash. So with respect to this point, I need to take the angle of 40 degrees. So place your protractor along this point, at that point along that XY line, and you mark the angle as 40. So with respect to this point, I need to draw a line, thin line. On this thin line, I need to obtain the another corner of that particular lateral edge. What is that? So B dash of A dash. So what will be the distance from B1 dash of A1 dash to B dash of A dash? That will be your axis length. So how much it is? 60 mm. So I am having the corner B1 dash of A1 dash. So with respect to that point, you take the distance to B dash of A dash. So this lateral edge, so since it is vertical here, that vertical line will get tilted to an angle of 40 degrees. So you place at this known corner and you cut the arc. The point where it intersects, so that point we call it as B dash of A dash. Okay, so two extreme corners of this particular rectangle I have got, boundary corners. Okay, we need to obtain the another two boundary corners, that is this lateral edge, that is D dash and D1 dash. So in order to obtain these two corners, so I need to draw these lines. So these lines are perpendicular with respect to this lateral edge, right? So hence what I'll do is, I'll take the protractor. So you place your protractor along this 40 degree line at point B1 dash of A1 dash and you mark one point. So and also you take one more 90 degree point, so with respect to this point B dash of A dash, and you mark one more 90 degree point here. Okay, so and with respect to these 90 degree points, what you will do is, you draw thin lines. You draw the lines in such a way that the line has to pass through that 90 degree point, like this. So this is one line and this is the another line that I'll get, right? Okay, now after obtaining two perpendicular lines, what I need to do is, I need to take the distance from B1 dash of A1 dash to D1 dash. So from where I am taking B1 dash of A1 dash, so place at that point and you cut the arc, you will get this corner. So similarly, you with the same distance, you place your compass at B1 dash of A1 dash and you cut the another point. The point where it intersects those 90 degree lines, so I should call those names corners as, one corner will be D1 dash and top corner will be D dash. So this is how we need to obtain all the boundary corners. So you join all of them with the help of dark lines. So this is one edge and this is the another edge. So top face and bottom face I have got. So I'll go with this lateral edges now. So this is the one, and finally the fourth edge. These lines has to be dark lines, so I'll draw them as dark lines. Okay, once after obtaining the boundary corners, I'll go with the intermediate points, that is the axis point and one more lateral edge we are having. Okay, that is vertical line. So I'll take the dimensions from B1 dash of A1 dash to O1 dash, from where I am taking B1 dash of A1 dash to O1 dash, the point where it touches, where the arc will intersect, that point will get as O1 dash. With the same dimension, you place your compass at B dash of O dash and you cut one more arc. Okay, so now I'll take the another point with respect to the same reference, that is B1 dash of A1 dash. I'll take the distance to C1 dash of E1 dash. You place at the same point and you cut the arc. Similarly, you cut one more arc with respect to that point B dash of A dash. So after obtaining these corners, so you draw them as it is, what we are having in the first position, you draw them as it is. If you are having the axis line, you draw it as axis line. If we are having continuous line, you draw it as continuous line. Okay, so this has to be dark. This line has to be dark line like this. Okay, so where I need to show the angle 40 degrees, I need to extend this axis, because axis makes an angle of 40 degrees. So you extend it as axis itself. That is thin chain line. I need to show the angle here. So this is 40 degrees. Okay. So if I take this axis line, so and this particular base, so here the angle will be 90 degrees. So and this angle will get as 50 degrees. So we can construct this or redraw this particular rectangle in such a way that, so by taking this 50 degree line also we can construct this. But I'll consider this procedure. So I'll tilt the lateral edge to an angle of 40 degrees first, then we'll take the perpendicular lines, and by taking the suitable distance we will obtain the boundary corners. That is the method that I'll consider. Okay, so now I'll go with the projections. So this is about the second position front view. I need to obtain the second position top view. How to obtain? You take the projections from each and every corner. First I'll go with the horizontal projections. I'll take the horizontal projections first, because I'll get few lines. Take it properly. So with respect to this point E1, so let me do the namings here. Let me complete the namings. This point is O dash. So here I should write it as C dash of E dash. So I have forgot this. This point is C1 dash of E1 dash. This point will be O1 dash. Okay, so now I'll extend from E of E1 to E1 dash, that is here. We extend till there. Next is A of A1. So we extend the points carefully. So it will reach us to this point. Next is the third projection line. If I extend this line, that also passes through this axis point. If I extend the line from D of D1, that also passes through the axis point like this. Next is B of B1. So extend the line like this. Next is C of C1. You extend the line. Okay. Now you go with the vertical projections. You extend the projection lines, vertical projection line, to the required position. So this point is D1. I'll extend this projection line until D dash to D1 dash. Next, I'll take this C1 dash of E1 dash. I'll take this point and I'll extend the projection lines. So this is the outermost point, and I'll take the axis point next, that is O1. So O1 will get it here. This is B1 dash of A1 dash. I'll take the projection line, I'll extend it. Next is D dash. So D dash is the center line, what I'll get. So this is the point. Next is you take the projection from this C dash of E dash. You extend the projection line. So it should touch to this point.